I don't really care what anybody says, but being financially stable eliminates 95% of your stress. You know that feeling. Your heart races the moment a bill hits the doormat. It's not paper, it's a verdict. Am I one unexpected expense away from everything falling apart? Gas or groceries, rent or electricity, surviving to the next payday? That's not a money problem, that's a mental health crisis wearing a finance problem's clothes. For years my brain ran on constant survival math, a frantic looping calculator just trying to make it to the end of the month. I wasn't living, I was just surviving. But here's what nobody tells you. 95% of that anxiety, the racing heart, the sleepless night, the endless calculations, it's not really about the bills, it's about your relationship with money underneath them. And that's completely fixable. And if that feeling I just described sounds familiar, you are not so far from alone. This isn't some personal failing, it's a national crisis. We're living through an epidemic of financial stress. A staggering 88% of Americans began 2026 feeling some form of financial stress, according to the National Endowment for Financial Education. That's nearly 9 out of every 10 people you pass on the street carrying that same invisible weight. And the pressure is only mounting. The study from Allianz Life found that 48% of Americans feel more stressed about their finances heading into 2026 than they did the year before. This isn't just in our heads, this is about our mental and physical well-being. Financial anxiety has become a public health issue. People who are worried about money report high levels of anxiety, depression, and sleep problems. It creates a devastating feedback loop. Stress about money hurts your mental health, and poor mental health can lead to impulsive decisions that dig you deeper into financial trouble. In fact, a recent survey showed that affordability was the biggest barrier to seeking professional mental health care for nearly a third of respondents. And what's at the core of this anxiety? Survival. A recent Bankrate report found that 59% of Americans couldn't cover an unexpected $1,000 emergency expense without going into debt. Just think about it. More than half the country would have to borrow money if their car broke down or they had a medical issue. A CivicScience poll from early 2026 highlights this further, showing that 76% of Americans have little to no financial safety net. Safety net is just gone. And when that check engine light comes on or a pipe bursts, it's not an inconvenience, it's a catastrophe. That is the definition of survival mode, and it's a place we're not meant to live. For me, the turning point wasn't some dramatic event, trust me, it was a slow burn of exhaustion. It was the realization that I was spending 100% of my mental energy just trying to stay afloat, leaving nothing left over for growth, for joy, for the future. I was so focused on not drowning that I completely forgot to learn how to swim. The real shift happened when I stopped asking, how can I survive these months? And started asking, what would it take for me to never feel this way again? It was a terrifying question. It forced me to confront everything. It forced me to look at the ugly hard numbers I'd been avoiding. It forced me to admit that my habits, my mindset, and my lack of real plan were keeping me trapped. Hope began not with a windfall of money, but rather with a decision to trade the temporary comfort of hiding from my problems for the long-term peace of being in control. This is the part of the journey where so many of us get stuck. We know the stress is unbearable, but the path out seems even more daunting. It feels easier to just deal with the panic of the next bill than to face the mountain of debt or the chaos of our spending. But there's the lie that survival mode tells you to keep you trapped, because the only way out is through. Escaping this survival mode wasn't about finding one magic bullet. It was about making a few intentional shifts in my thinking and my actions. Here are the 3 that made the biggest difference. First, I became a financial scientist, not a financial victim. For years, I treated my bank account like a crime scene I was afraid to look at. I'd swipe my card and just hope for the best. I was a victim of my finances. The first step to freedom was to become a scientist. I started tracking everything, not to judge myself, but simply to gather data. Where was my money actually going? I use a simple app, but a notepad works just as well. And for 30 days, I wrote down every single purchase. The morning coffee, the subscriptions I forgot about, the impulse buy online, everything. And at the end of the month, I didn't see a list of failures. I saw patterns. I saw the truth. And with the truth, you can create a strategy. You move from being a passenger in your financial life to being the driver. You create a budget, not as a restriction, but as a plan for your freedom. It's no surprise that a NEFE poll found that setting and following a budget was the top financial resolution for 2026. People know that a plan reduces chaos. Second, I built a peace of mind fund. The number one driver of daily financial panic is the fear of the unknown, that unexpected car repair or a vet bill. The reason these things cause so much stress is that we have no buffer. A recent Allianz Life study found that a lack of emergency funds is a primary driver of stress for 39% of Americans. So my next obsession naturally became building a peace of mind fund. Forget calling it an emergency fund because that word just invites disaster. This is a fund for your peace of mind. And I started ridiculously small, $20 a paycheck, then 50. I automated it so the money was transferred to a separate savings account the day I got paid. I pretended it didn't even exist. Slowly it grew. First it was $500, then $1,000. And the first time I had to use it for a car repair, something amazing happened. I was annoyed, but I wasn't panicked. The crisis was downgraded to an inconvenience, and for the first time, a financial surprise didn't derail my entire life. That feeling was more valuable than any purchase I've ever made. This is the single most powerful step to breaking the cycle of survival. Third, I shifted from a scarcity mindset to a growth mindset. When you're stuck in survival mode, your world is built on scarcity. You think, I can't afford that. You see every expense as a loss. Your entire financial world is about defense, just trying not to lose ground. Financial stability allows you to finally go on offense. It's about shifting your thinking to growth. Instead of, I can't afford that, you start asking, how can I afford that? That small change in the language is revolutionary. It opens up possibilities. Maybe you need to develop a new skill to get raised. Perhaps you start a small side project with a mental space freed up from constant worry. You can finally invest in your most important asset, yourself. You can buy the book, take the course, attend the seminar. You start seeing money not just as something to spend on bills, but as a tool to build a better life. And this is the ultimate escape from survival mode, because you're no longer just managing to get by, you're actively building the future you want. So, what does life look like on the other side? What does this 95% less stress actually feel like? Well, it's quiet. It's the absence of that frantic internal calculator that was running 24/7. It's opening a bill and just paying it. It's your friend inviting you on a last-minute weekend trip and being able to say yes without a week of organizing financial modeling. Is the freedom to make decisions based on your values, not your bank balance. You can choose the job that fulfills you, not just the one that pays the most. You can be generous, picking up the check for a friend who is struggling because you remember what that felt like. It's resilience. When a global crisis hits or the economy gets shaky, you have a buffer. You feel the tremors, but your foundation doesn't crack. A 2026 NEFE poll found that 77% of people experienced a financial setback last year. And when you have stability, a setback is just that, a setback. It's not a knockout blow. The 95% isn't a scientific measurement, it's the emotional truth of what happens when the daily threat of financial ruin is lifted. The stress that remains is just life stress, work, relationship, health, but that crushing, suffocating weight of money worries, well, it's gone, and in its place there is a room to breathe. Because escaping financial survival mode is a journey of 1,000 small steps. It begins with the decision to stop surviving and start building. It starts with confronting the truth, building a buffer for your peace of mind, and shifting your mindset from scarcity to growth. You've seen the data. The stress is real and it's getting worse for so many of us. But the path to stability is also real and it's available to you. Your new reality is waiting. Your very first step is very simple. Track your spending for just 1 week. Don't judge, don't change, just observe. Knowledge is the first step to power. And if this story resonated with you, and if you're ready to take control, then make sure you subscribe and turn on notification bells, because we are going to be breaking down these steps even further in the coming weeks. And in the comments below, please tell me the one financial stressor you want to eliminate most from your life. Let's name it and let's face it together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in this video right here.